game ready, steady aim at the target. I'm flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like...
Hey, it's your girl Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Sorting the Game album review of Jeezy's Recession 2. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, we know Jeezy, he is coming off of a dope album that dropped this year, in my opinion, 2020 Pyrex Vision, which was a total come around from his project that dropped last year, Thug Motivation 4. I didn't appreciate Thug Motivation 4 at all. I thought it was like really, you know, it wasn't up to Jeezy standard. 2020 Pyrex Vision definitely was up to the standard. But when the original Recession came out in 2008, you feel me, this was a hot album. It's very hot. He had a hot tracks on there. My President is Black, featuring Jay-Z and Nas. Put On, featuring Kanye. He had a Mariah Carey feature on there. All of these things. That was his third studio album. So to see him all these years later come out with the Recession 2, I was like, you know, this has a high standard that it has to uphold. So we're going to see if it's going to do that. I will like to say that he bodied Gucci Mane in the versus battle like we all knew that he should and could, because it's just two different levels. Like, you know, Gucci, even though he does have mainstream successes and stuff like that, he's been more hot recently than he really was in the past. Like, you had to be like really in tune with what's going on with this South and the trap sound and stuff down there to know Gucci's real work, where that is not something that Jeezy had. Jeezy was a crossover, like, you know, pop chart topping artist from when he stepped into the game. So it's just two different levels of what is going on there. And that's that. This track starts off, well, this album starts off with a track called Oh Lord, which is featuring Tamika Mallory, and she was one of the most vocal, like outspoken voices that we have in the BLM movement regarding police brutality and everything that's going on. She's somebody who's out here actually puts in the work on the street and in the field every day and puts herself on the line to try to get some equality for us in regards to police brutality. So I did appreciate this opening off like that. This has the original sample from Vera Hall, Oh Lord, ain't my trouble so hard. You feel me? That, like, that's something that I'm glad that he used here. But also in the past, I do want to point out that this particular track was also like a techno smash when Moby came out, and Moby and Eminem was beefing and shit like that. Oh, that's only something I would know because I definitely be involved in all type of shit I shouldn't be. But this was really dope. Community conscious album, like I said, track about police brutality, and I was like, okay, this is dope. So he's letting you know that he's in touch with everything that's going on. The next track on here we go, and it just gave you that classic Jeezy energy, you feel me? And I definitely appreciated that. Next track on here, Modern Day, that was okay too. After that, it was Back, featuring Yo Gotti, and I want to say that this shit was dope. It was really dope to me. I like to see Yo Gotti and Jeezy working together because they spent some real trap shit. I could whip a dream with a fork, nigga. Play that Pirates like a sports, nigga. Just, you know, like I said, just real shit that you know Jeezy for and Yo Gotti for. He did his thing on here. The next track on here is The Ghetto, featuring E40. It's a Donny Hathaway sample of, you know, Ghetto. And I do just want to say here, like, yo, I don't like E40. I listened to this and I never had a problem with E40, you know, tell me when to go, all of this other stuff and all these other things that he has put out in the past that I probably was a fan of and was knocking and was bumping. It's taken me this long to realize I don't like E40. And it started me really realizing I don't like E40 off of this whole curb commentary and commentator tracks that he's put out, albums and EPs he put out this year. And then I really noticed that when he was on K Slay's homage album on the track Rolling 50 Deep, and definitely fucked up the whole vibe of, you know, 50 niggas being on a 17 track beat. You should not be a legend in the game and falling short like that. I did not appreciate that. I really just don't like E40. So I'm going to move on with that. Next track on here, Niggas. It's a lot of filler on here. Niggas is one of them. Death for Me is one of them. Stimulus check. He came on there sounding like Pac in the beginning, first couple bars. That has a Bobby Womack feature on there. Then there's a track on here, My Reputation, featuring Lil Duval and Demi Lovato. And when I seen the features and didn't listen to the song, I was like, yo, Jeezy is serving both of these niggas. Like, Jeezy's out here serving fucking Demi Lovato and fucking Lil Duval, because why did he have both of them singing on the track? That's like when you give a fiend, like, you give your favorite fiend to test out some shit, and they start singing and dancing, Fiend hit the pipe one time, did the Dougie. This is what I thought when I first seen this, and I was right. This has an SOS band sample on there, My Reputation. People always talking about, that type joint on here. And when I heard what was going on here, I immediately thought of Silk the Shocker, Master P, and Destiny's Child track, Just Be Straight With Me, which is a horrible track. Just horrible flashback of time period. But I don't know why he chose to put these two people on this joint. It was not knocking for me. The next track on here is called A Glory, featuring Neo, and this is like some grown folk step music. He says that on here. It's a G step. You feel me? Grown folk G step music over a Marvin Gaye sample. I definitely appreciated that, but I definitely checked the credits to make sure he gave the credit where it was due, so he will not get sued by Marvin Gaye's camp, who will definitely sue your fucking ass. Let's just be clear here. Next track on here, Live and Die, and that's just a Tupac Live and Die in LA, Live and Die in the A type of flip going on here. That was alright. Next track on here, Praying at Night. That was alright too. But the track on here, Therapy for My Soul. This is the track that actually got leaked out and caused a controversy between one of the artists that he mentioned on here. I just want to say that this was Jeezy's attempt just to let you know everything that he had been through all these years, and just giving you some insight, because a lot of people have been playing around with his name and he's been very silent about these things. So this was his opportunity to just vent out and let it all out. I did not have a problem with that. The thing that caused the most problems on here, when that shit went down with Gibbs, I couldn't trust him. Invested my hard-earned money, tied out my bread. I'm going to tell you, he's going to tell you I'm flawed. That's in his head. And then he goes on to say, it's happening just like I said, you good on your own, but keep yourself out of this, like you not hard at all, or whatever he says. He's like, you nothing gangster about you, is what he really says. He says nothing gangster about Gibbs, which caused Gibbs to go on a tirade online, and like trying to call him out for doing the verses with Gucci after all the beef that they had and all of this stuff like that, acting like a real bitter bitch out here that need to mind their fucking business. Now he could say that, like, Gibbs took shots at Jeezy on Pinata. He took shots at Jeezy. He's consistently talking about his relationship with Jeezy in a negative way, and it's just like, dog, leave this shit alone. Like, Jeezy is able to say what he wants to say about this joint. You ain't gotta be like that on there. We ain't even doing that. So it's just hard, but he did what he had to do when it came down to that. Next track on here, Almighty Black Dollar, and I might have skipped a track or two, but if I did, it ain't worth talking about. I'm gonna just be honest, a lot of fillers on this track, but I appreciated Almighty Black Dollar because he comes on here, all this Fendi and Gucci is goofy. LV cancel, you can tell them to sue me. Rolex, APA shit y'all follow. They need us, that almighty black dollar. And it's just like, he starts off, Gucci don't like black people, in my Boosie badass voice. And it's just true. Like, it's crazy because even during the battle, and Gucci Mane has a contract with Gucci that took him several years to do this, and Gucci has just found their way to align themselves with everybody that they should have had a partnership with way before. You come down to Dapper Dan, Gucci Mane, all of these things, just so they could try to seem current and that they're not in this racist environment, even though we've seen all the racist clothes they put out when they put out the Black Laval with the with the red lips and all of these things, just trying to like be real tone deaf on something that everybody is definitely up to speed and knows what's going on with. It really, really bothers me. Like, the whole time period is the reason why I do not wear designer clothes anymore. I cannot do it. I cannot find myself and think that is some type of credence to me being better than somebody else because I can afford something for somebody who wants to spit in my face every chance that they get. You feel me? Really just eye open. I hope everybody gets on the same page because like people during the BLM movement was, looting Gucci and doing all this stuff, and you had real people out here crying. Why would you do that? What have they ever done for you? Nothing. Like, you feel me? Make you feel valid on some shit that you don't need to feel valid on. It's really, really sickening. I do want to say that Ross is on this track, and Ross ain't gonna say fuck Fendi and Gucci. He took a different approach to this. He talked about real estate and stuff like that. He ain't gonna give that same energy off because first of all, he's a fat nigga. Fat niggas always need validation from designer clothes. It's not gonna happen like that. And two, he know better. He not gonna do anything like that. I wish he would have just stand behind Jeezy a little bit more on this track and say fuck these same designer brands, but he can't do that. He got 2,000 of Versace shades that he can't disrespect. You feel me? So just really, really, I really just respect Jeezy's voice on this record. Ross, not so much. He was in and out of this shit. That shit was really like maybe 6 bars long, if even. And this joint ends off with a track called The Kingdom, and that was cool too. Overall, I wasn't mad at this project. Like, I wasn't mad. It had his high points. It had his little spots in there. As the singles come out, he's gonna pick the strongest ones off of here, and that probably be, things like Here We Go. Probably, I don't know. It's just real weird because it's like a lot of filler on here. The Glory is a nice track that probably just come out, and Therapy for My Soul, that's just like an album track, so it ain't gonna come out like that. But let me know what you think about the Recession 2. Let me know what you think about the Gucci and Jeezy battle. You feel me? And I just want to say here too, like, when it comes down to legends in the game, you have to respect that they're a legend in the game. But do you think do we need more music from Jeezy, or he should just let it alone? He should let his discography stay where it's at and not, convolute it with anything else going on. So let me know how you feel about that. But I'm about to get out of here. As always, I'm Madam Money. You can follow me on IG and Twitter at Madam Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. Make sure you leave your comments in the comment section below. But as always, I'll be seeing you guys.
Competent, equipped to hold my own on any continent. More sauce than condiments. Incontinent, I'm pissing on conglomerates.